Yo, man, what's going on, y'all, man? Y'all already know what time it is, man. We back again with another crazy lit reaction video, man. By the title and thumbnail, you already know what to expect, man. We finna change your reality, reprogram your mind, man. It's finna be things that just open up. Like I tell you, I'm not no teacher, I'm a learner. You know, so right now in this episode, we're going to be learning a lot of new things that could potentially change our mind, our reality, and just make us more wise to things that we possibly overlook within the world. So make sure if you all enjoy this video, man, that you get this video 10,000 likes, man. Hit that like button right now and give us 1,000 comments. I don't care what it is, man. Let's hit 1,000 more comments. Y'all be going crazy on the comments and engaging. I just love it. So let's make this happen, man. Let's break this algorithm, man. Let's break this matrix. Let's get it. Let's go.
You think they're going to cure cancer? It's a $194 billion a year business. Chemotherapy is big business.
Yeah.
You think if you came up with a pill, guy, I got a pill that cures cancer, you'd maybe take 3 steps and you popped in the head.
Dead.
I got a car that runs on water. Dead. Found hanging. I figured out a way to make all this power free. Another guy hanging.
You accidentally
it doesn't
killed.
make no because it's billions with a B of dollars involved, and so it's not going to stop. You can't. It's like, you know, you can't look. We don't live in a Walt Disney movie. The world is obviously very corrupt and there's real evil. I mean, you think you're going to cure cancer? It's 190.
It's real, and that's what a lot of people are starting to realize, is that they're starting to realize that there's a lot of politics behind these major illnesses that supposedly cannot be cured, as in I can't really say the names because it's not YouTube friendly in a way, but y'all understand, you know, of these illnesses that can come about when you heard where there is zero cure to it. In fact, there are cures. The thing is, it's very, how can I say it? It's probably very neutralized in a way that it probably will cost you $20 million just to even get particular, I say vaccines, let's call it a vaccine, you know what I'm saying? It's something that could potentially help. Like, it could be the most traumatic situation, but somebody else is like happy. You get what I'm saying? Like, you can get a call today, hey, unfortunately we have scanned and we have seen that there might be cancer cells, you know, we want you to come in for testing. These folks who have the ability to actually run the test and give you these medicines and go through the chemo, they are literally sitting on $1 billion company right now, because it's like, all right, come on, we got more people, there's more money, there's more. They don't care. That's the sad thing about it, and they can't promise you that it's never going to not come back again. Well, you beat it, but we can't promise it's not going to. It's just a messed up world out here. It's basically what I'm trying to say. When you look into it and you learn about things, like especially in the Americas, because a lot of other countries have free healthcare, you know, but it's very corrupt out here.
I found Charlie in the Chocolate Factory with Willy Wonka and them. Well, I just found out that the Oompa Loompas weren't from Loompa Land. Nay, they were enslaved Africans. Willy Wonka was an enslaver, giving away tickets to white children to tour his chocolate plantation.
What?
Bruh, let me show you. Here's the modern, sanitized version of the book. Aren't they fantastic?
Wow.
No higher than my knee. Look at their funny long hair. Now the original and most popular version during the book's peak. Aren't they fantastic? No higher than my knee. Their skin is almost black. Pygmies they are, imported direct from Africa. I discovered them myself. I brought them over from Africa myself, the whole tribe of them, 3,000 in all. He goes on to say that he smuggled them in large packing cases with holes in them. The Bantu tribe was convinced to work and live at the factory in exchange for cacao beans. Beans. They worked for beans. And now my childhood visceral distaste for this film makes a whole lot more sense.
Wow. Willy Wonka's Oompa Loompas were slaves, and the children won the tickets to tour his plantation. That is crazy. That's why I literally like looking at content like this, because I learn new things like all the time. I didn't even know nothing like this. And it's crazy how they try to keep that from you. I need to find something else on this. I got to look this up on TikTok right now, because they need to go more into depth detail on what's going on with this.
So I found the sketches. I wish I hadn't, because I found this in imported directly from Africa. Pygmies they are, imported direct from Africa. They belong to a tribe of tiny miniature pygmies known as the Oompa Loompas. I discovered them myself. I brought them over from Africa myself. The whole tribe of them, 3,000 in all. I found them in the very deepest and darkest part of the African jungle, where no white man had ever been before.
Wow.
In our face, y'all. It was in our face. And then look, think about that. It was read in the classrooms in the 1970s, not the 1870s, but the 1970s. Black people being shipped across the ocean. But y'all got a problem with CRT.
What's CRT?
And I'm going to say this, because you are one of the few non-black people who have commented on this post about Willy Wonka. Some tells me, y'all knew.
Oh, they knew.
We didn't know. We didn't know. And just this little part right here in this box, I mean, we see that today with the dances on TikTok, with the songs, like with the entertainment industry. I told you they love singing. Aren't they delightful? Aren't they charming? But you must not believe a word they say, because it's all nonsense, every bit of it. Don't listen to the black folks when they try to tell y'all the truth. When they tell y'all about oppression. When they tell y'all about systemic racism. They're just good for entertainment, for singing and dancing. Like, it was in Willy Wonka, y'all. Like, it was in Willy Wonka.
Oh, my God. She just hit the nail in the coffin on that one. Woo!
Damn chocolate factory was code for the transatlantic slave trade and systemic racism. I'll go on, or more specifically, Mr. Dahl will. Early in the book, Grandpa Joe points out that the Wonka factory has no workers, and what a mystery this was. Think about it. Just think about all the inventions that were stolen. Just think about that lie that was told. Because the mystery was slavery. The mystery was slavery. The chocolate factory wasn't the chocolate factory without the slaves.
Oh, it's not.
It's like America. Just like America. They were dehumanized black people possessing language only as curiosity. Like all the questions we ask in the deconstruction, all of that. Only as a cage bird might sing. I know why the cage bird sings. I don't know the fizzle drinks. Willie got mad at Charlie for stealing a fizzle drink. The fizzle drink is the drink that set the black man free, that set the Oompa Loompas free.
Wow.
Okay, so
wow. Oh my God. And we still ain't got reparations yet, man. Like, no, man. This honestly something that blew my mind completely. Like, looking at Willy Wonka now, I'm going to rewatch it. And I need to literally dissect every single thing now, because I honestly remember when they were asking, what are they talking about? And the Willy Wonka guy was like, I don't know, like they have their own language. Like, oh my God, but they were singing in English. And she is right. Willy Wonka would not be the chocolate factory without the Oompa Loompas at all. That was the best part of Willy Wonka, was them dancing, them singing, them entertaining. Leave it up to the world to deceive us and make us believe that they did the same thing with Thanksgiving. You know, I always tell y'all Thanksgiving, that was a holiday that was invented once Christopher Columbus came and colonized in America. He killed all, like, majority of the Native Americans that was in the land. And when he settled completely, they had a thanks feast, like a Thanksgiving. Like, thank you, Christopher Columbus, for finding us a new place to settle, because they didn't want to give up their land, so they forcibly took over, and then they migrated from all over to where they first settled across the entire Americas, and colonized, killed, and forced things upon the Native Americans. Because they coming out with a new Willy Wonka as well in 2024 is also. So I'm probably going to go to the movies and actually see that, to see how much detail that they put into it to try to make it like the original. That's going to be something to look at, y'all. Let me know if y'all learned something new down below, and hit that like button, man. This is wild. This is worse than the Cinderella stories that we see on Disney.
Hey, y'all. Had an interesting looking moon this morning. So what you see here was what I saw just before sunrise. And as you see, it's a very tiny crescent, but you could see the unlit portion, and you could also see through it. So that was really cool. Now, the problem was when you tried to zoom in on it, this is as close as I could zoom before it did anything. But when you tried to zoom in on it, this was the best it would clear up to. And it's no distortion or anything. That's just what was to be seen with that close of a zoom. So anyway, I took this picture and I ran it through the settings. So what you got here is that same image, but run through the settings, and it'll bring out the lowest end of the object's viewing from what I see. And there's nothing from afar, but as you zoom into the picture, you'll notice that matrix look,
Wow.
the motherboard look. And what was notable about this time around is it wasn't just the sky, it was inside the moon as well.
Right.
And as you look at it, you can see that the light from here starts in the middle and goes outwards. So as far as that, I see it more like a hologram. Now, since the moon is appearing to do the same thing with these settings as the sky does, to me that suggests that the moon would actually be a part of the sky thing. And what I find very interesting is it's more and more looking like a TV screen type thing, because if you go outside and you stare at the clear blue sky, you can see it dim in and out, but it does take a while of focusing on it, and it's really neat to see. And why don't y'all let me know what you think about it?
Man, yeah, definitely gotta let us know.
I'm scared for Miley Cyrus because the biggest conspiracy theory about her right now is that she's trapped in a cult. Yes, a cult. Did you notice she dropped the biggest song of the year, then disappeared? Did practically zero promotion for her album. Completely moved on to a new song, and the only promo she did for that was in a soundstage with her team, and the tweets were saying, "I love that Miley's new cult is letting her do promo for her new single." Turns out it's because Miley has allegedly joined the cult, the Modern Mystery School, and has been hanging out with people from this school, along with the leader, Gundani Gundison, which sounds like some Sesame Street made-up name. To get an idea of the Modern Mystery School, they're a cult that vigorously heals your past trauma to make you the most enlightened, best version of yourself. And on the cover of their website, it says, "You are not perfect the way you are." She's been seen and posting, hanging out with Lily and Blue, two light workers and healers from this cult since February 2023, and she's been seen chugging down Manipulation Station to their little cult gatherings. We know this is for the cult because on the website it always says know thyself. People think what this cult does is break you down completely to build you up into who they want to be. A lot of past members say that they experienced really horrible trauma, physical, financial, and sexual exploitation. He instills major fear about impending doom or personal safety onto his members to keep them in line. Miley even said she never wants to tour again, and one of her reasons was because of the feeling of her personal safety being in jeopardy. Miley's fans fear she's susceptible because she definitely has trauma to exploit in recent times, saying that she's working through the trauma of being harshly judged in her 20s, and the major trauma going on right now with her famous split family. Before I say the craziest part, make sure you follow so you finally know the craziest conspiracy theories about all your favorite celebrities and request who you want to see next. Fans also think she's susceptible because she got involved with a cult figure after the Bangers era, Wayne Coyne. They did a lot of strange things together. I'm scared for Miley Cyrus because I
don't know, man. That sounds pretty crazy. I could have sworn that they were saying that she was already a part of some type of cult because of the things that she was going through. If I'm not mistaken, I think this was probably like a 2016. Now I really think about it, I haven't really been hearing anything about Miley Cyrus lately. Like, where really has she been at?
Texas, there was a massacre so heinous that legislators are working to criminalize the teaching of it to students. Welcome to my series where I tie history to legislation that seeks to erase it from schools. At the turn of the 20th century, Slocum, Texas was a prosperous community where hundreds of black Americans owned their homes and land. In 1910, rumors spread and tensions escalated when white men confronted a group of black teenagers. Soon after, mobs of white men raided black neighborhoods in Slocum. They burned homes and killed indiscriminately. It is estimated at least 100 were murdered. These three men sent a letter to President Taft on behalf of 150 ministers to assist. Pause to read the Attorney General's response.
The protection of life and property is generally a duty devolving up to the state. Your letter and petition deal with the subject of treatment of colored person generally, and therefore no facts, which will warrant this department in taking any steps to, that's crazy.
Many black residents fled to Louisiana. They were forced to abandon their homes and their property was seized. They never received compensation. Texas didn't acknowledge the massacre until 2011. It has never been part of Texas curriculum, and right now Texas is revising its social studies standards. But since this law was passed to censor teaching about race and oppression, this massacre won't be included. But this history deserves its rightful place in the classroom, especially in Texas. Did you know this history?
No,
in Texas,
it's a lot of history that we be learning in this channel. And I know a lot of y'all like, man, I tell y'all, man, we a family at the end of the day, but we learn new stuff, you know, and it's this stuff like this that needs to be learned. I be feeling like a history teacher sometimes because it's a lot of stuff that I wish I was able to learn in school, but they try to keep it away from us so much. Like, man, even the whole thing with Willy Wonka and the Oompa Loompa factory where they were really slaves. They was actually slaves. You know, like that stuff still mess up my mind, man. They need to stop gatekeeping from us, man. And honestly, like just tell us the truth. Like, man, at this point, we really just got to teach ourselves, like for real.
This movie is definitely proof of the Mandela effect.
If you remember watching Shazam in the 90s with Sinbad, the actor, well,
This movie is definitely proof of the Mandela effect.
If you remember watching Shazam in the 90s with Sinbad, the actor, well, the movie never existed.
Y'all remember a movie called Shazam with Sinbad playing a genie? You know what? The movie was never real. It was, the rumor started in 2009. I don't know where it came from, but it's not real.
Millions of people remember watching this movie, but it never existed. Apparently, it's a Mandela effect, a collective false memory of something that a lot of people remember, but it never happened. Just like, for instance, the Mandela effects of the Monopoly guy with the monocle, the Berenstein Bears with an E, and George the monkey with the tail. These things never happened. And the thing is, I recently found videos of people who actually have a VHS tape of the Shazam.
I still don't
movie.
understand the whole issue with this movie Shazam, with Sinbad.
If it never existed, how come a lot of people still have the VHS tape? Are we in a different timeline? Time travel? Parallel universe? What's going on?
But yeah, it never existed.
Strange, isn't it? But it gets even stranger. I found an original scene from the Shazam movie. In it, several Mandela effects.
What are you doing? Dad could have thrown out all of my
Wow.
stuff.
I literally remember this too.
James, there's gotta be something he forgot here. Something real we can remember her by.
George the monkey with the tail. What?
Wow.
We have our memories. They're real. No one can take that from us. Yeah, clean this up. Can you imagine if Dad saw this mess?
Really well done.
Bless you. What is that?
Berenstein Bears with an E. What?
Wow.
Nelson Mandela dead at 68. What?
Took you long enough, Tina? Wait, y'all are not Tina.
Wow.
Wait, you know her mom?
To make me my own dinosaur.
Last but not least, Carmen Sandiego with a yellow suit. Why would someone leave so many Mandela effects inside of a movie that never existed? What is going on here? Time travel or what?
Don't forget to like and follow and stay weird.
Oh my God. Oh my God. That just completely tripped me out. Like, that just make me wonder, what are we in right now? Are we in some type of simulation, bro? Like what are we? I remember watching that movie. I don't know. I feel like I'm speechless. Everything that needed to be said was said within this video. But the fact that the things that we're not, the George with a tail, the Nelson Mandela passed that 68 thing, and the you see the Monopoly board, like everything that we're like saying that did exist is all of a sudden like it's in a movie that they're saying that doesn't exist but shows proof. I feel like this episode kinda it got really creepy. You know what I'm saying? And I don't feel like I have too much to say. I kind of just want to kind of do some more research, because this is like, I don't think I ever felt this way after watching a video. Like, this is honestly, it's nerve, like, I'm not gonna say it's nerve wracking, but it just makes me question a lot on what's going on in this world. Like, this is scary.
Was Helen Keller real? Helen Keller is one of the more celebrated figures in American history, but recently many people have been questioning the legitimacy of her life. And to answer this question, we need to take a little bit closer look at the story of Helen Keller. First off, she didn't actually pass away until the 60s, and we have proof that she did in fact exist. Helen Keller was actually born with full eyesight and hearing. It was at 19 months old when she became both fully deaf and fully blind. And with the help of her teacher Anne Sullivan, Helen Keller was able to master the alphabet and go on to do incredible things. She wrote 12 books, met multiple US presidents and prominent figures across the world, and she even flew an airplane. But now many people are questioning whether any of that happened or if it's over-exaggerated. Well, we need to dive a little bit deeper into her teacher Anne Sullivan. Like and follow for part 2.
Definitely need to.
Thank you for taking the time to listen to myself and my colleagues today, speaking to you from the heart about what we've observed and what we're recommending as the Global COVID Summit team of over 17,000 physicians and scientists from all over the world. We declare, and the data confirm, that the COVID-19 experimental genetic therapy injections must end. We must acknowledge that the COVID-19 genetic injections cause far more harm than good and provide zero benefit relative to risk for the young and healthy. They do not reduce COVID-19 infection, which is treatable and not terminal. Furthermore, the most recent data demonstrates that you are more likely to become infected or have disease or even death if you've been vaccinated compared to the unvaccinated people. This is shocking to hear, but it is what the data are showing us. The data now show that these experimental gene therapy treatments can damage your children as well as yourself. They can damage your heart, your brain, your reproductive tissue, and your lungs. Wow. This can include permanent damage and disablement of your immune system. We strongly recommend that these products down in the...
Wow. And this coming from Robert Malone himself.
Hawaii, here we come. Ananakuli Makawani and Onananalula Hawaii.
Oh my God.
What about Hawaii? Mo, who's going to Hawaii? Am I going to Hawaii?
Stop saying Hawaii in there.
You fools! You've erected a massive concave reflective surface. It will focus the sun's beam in a deadly ray.
First off, I'd like to thank the good people at Tianjin Smelting and Mining and Donuts and Tops for neutralizing our wonderful, deadly new lard lead.
Okay, I want to say that was a Simpson prediction because it didn't happen in Hawaii. It was still in, where Homer Simpson and them live at, but I guess they were trying to reference to the fire that's going on in Hawaii, but they wasn't in Hawaii at the moment, so we can debunk this 100%.
They want to make everybody evil. In this next clip, I want you to read everything that's in red backwards. Man, that shit just said war and evil won. War and evil. And all evil is us living backwards. How do you live forwards? Well, we show love towards each other because love don't do nothing but help shit evolve. But if you spell love backwards, that shit spell evil too. They want us to love backwards towards each other, which is hate each other. So that's why they separating us into different groups because of our belief systems. They don't want us to change perspectives and see where each other is coming from. They rather us sit down, debate with each other until we hate each other. They would rather us fight each other because the people that run this system simply feed off your negative energy. You gotta protect yourself from the system, bro, because they just want you to feel low about yourself. And if you feel low about yourself and you don't love yourself, you're just gonna spread that insecurity to other people. And you spread that shit to other people, they gonna put their energy out into this planet, bro.
There's this scene in They Clone Tyrone where there's a black woman at the beauty salon, and right before she gets a perm and she gets the hair relaxer in her hair, she's complaining about her job as a teacher. She's talking about how she has 44 kids in her classroom and how she has to use her own money to buy school supplies for her classroom, even cutting into the fund that pays for her gas. In the midst of all of this, she goes on to talk about how the school board is going to cut their pay again. And as she's talking and venting and expressing her frustration and possibly on the precipice of formulating an idea that would lead to the formation of a teacher strike, her hairdresser begins. There's this scene in They Clone Tyrone where there's a black woman at the beauty salon, and right before she gets a perm and she gets the hair relaxer in her hair, she's complaining about her job as a teacher. She's talking about how she has 44 kids in her classroom and how she has to use her own money to buy school supplies for her classroom, even cutting into the fund that pays for her gas. In the midst of all of this, she goes on to talk about how the school board is going to cut their pay again. And as she's talking and venting and expressing her frustration and possibly on the precipice of formulating an idea that would lead to the formation of a teacher strike, her hairdresser begins to apply the relaxer. And just like that, her frustrations are gone. It was like she was sedated or poisoned or distracted because she's like, yo, maybe I'm just tripping. But that wasn't just a movie scene to me. It felt like a clip from a documentary, because real talk, it's like these hair relaxer companies are sedating our black women. And it's not because they fall under a trance and forget the injustices they're faced with. It's because black women who use hair relaxers specifically from those companies are more at risk for uterine and ovarian cancer. So time spent fighting grave injustices is now spent fighting cancer and subsequently taking them away from their true essence. But then it's like a lose-lose, because if this woman was a real person, then it's almost like she was probably getting this hair relaxer to be deemed more presentable.
Okay, I guess he didn't get to finish what he was saying, but I'm not the type of guy that really speak on women business. You get what I'm saying? Because I'm a male at the end of the day, so I can't really understand too much of what go on within a woman. But a lot of my women down below, I see a lot of y'all actually support me, and a lot of y'all actually watch and tune in a lot of the times. You know, y'all could do me a favor and somewhat describe what he was trying to get or talk about with situations like that. I'm not here to judge or anything like that, but it's the same thing with men. You know, like it's a lot of wave greasers out here that have chemical things in there, you know, that will make you constantly keep putting it on your head. That was something that I also learned about with Carmex, the stuff that you put on your lips. I don't ever use. I haven't used that in about 8 years since I figured this out. Was that it's a chemical in the Carmex that will make you constantly want to keep putting it on. It was something that me and my friend bought back in high school. It was like some oil that you put on your hair, and we used to have to, like, it used to chemically burn our scalp, but to us it was feeling gratified, like it was feeling good when we put on our scalp. We was like, oh my God, this feels so good. Woo! My scalp ain't finna be dry. We would literally put a whole bottle, like it was like an addiction. It was scary, but it's literally an addiction to us. We kept putting it in our hair. We couldn't stop, even though our hair would be so oily, our hair would still itch, but our hair feels so dry. Our scalp is burning, it's itching. I can call him right now and he will tell y'all. When they played this part on They Clone Tyrone on how it made me feel, like that's wild that things like that really go on that we don't speak about. We just continuously use it. Yeah! That was wild. That was wild. I actually like this compilation though. I feel like this compilation was pretty interesting if you ask me. You know, like I tell y'all, man, I'm learning. I love the learning process, and the videos that you all have been sending me has been amazing. I'm just learning so much, and I love to be able to interact with you all, and it feel like somewhat of a connection when I'm able to react to someone's content. But I hope that you all enjoyed this compilation, man. But make sure, more importantly, if you enjoyed this video, that you give it a huge thumbs up, man. 10,000 likes is the goal for today's video, man. We almost to 1 million subscribers. So if y'all want to do me a huge favor, hit that subscribe button. More importantly, turn on the notifications so you can get notified when a kid posts another video. Because if you don't, you won't get it. You get what I'm saying? But y'all enjoy y'all day. Be blessed. I'll see you tomorrow.